So after I was discharged from the military in late 2012, I continued my education with the University of Phoenix, starting full-time in 2013 until I finished in 2015. And University of Phoenix was an accelerated course that focused mostly in discussion boards, individual, and team assignments. And our undergrad classes were 5 weeks long. So, because so much work was packed into one class in that short amount of time, one class was considered full time. So, I put in a lot of hours and a lot of learning into that. And I had some amazing team members, and unfortunately, I had some not so good team members. I will do a video on these experiences, which is going to be the next video, and how I handled these conflicts within the system. And for the most part, we also had amazing instructors throughout the time I had with Phoenix. And my last year of undergrad, I became pregnant with my oldest son. And ironically, he was born 3 weeks after my degree was finished and conferred. Once I gave birth to my son, I took some time to not only spend time with him, but to also look at where I wanted to go as far as my education and potential work. At the time, no one was really hiring, so with my remaining benefits of my post 9/11, I enrolled into the Education and Online Learning Certificate Program at Liberty University for the spring of 2016. And with my previous experience in team collaboration for schoolwork, it gave me the edge on how to manage our team projects, and I fell in love with the program. And from there, I decided to apply for the full Masters of Education program beginning the summer of 2016. It started off well, however, midway through the semester, unfortunately, I began to suffer from late postpartum depression and early onset of PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. And I tried reaching out for help by seeing a psychologist, but I was unable to find one that I was uncomfortable with. And it was a really tough time because as I was suffering, I was spiraling further and further behind on my work. And by the time that I could get my wits about me and realize that, I definitely had a problem, it was too late for the instructors for them to help me or provide any sort of extensions to where I would finish the class with a passing grade. So I had to withdraw while failing 2 of the 3 courses of the semester, and that put me on a 2 to 4 years of work trying to get my mental health back in order. And in that time, since my mental health crisis began, it had a lot of ups and downs. I had a miscarriage and I got pregnant soon, very, very soon after. And after the delivery of my youngest, I was finally able to seek mental help with caring therapists and psychiatrists that I was comfortable with. And when COVID-19 began, when my oldest son was in pre-K, I noticed how several teachers were struggling to complete the school year using technologies that were essentially Frankenstein together to finish the term. And when the 2021 or 2020-2021 school year began, there was a very lacking of preparation for these virtual schools. And I sat down and I prayed about it, and I felt that, maybe this is the time for me to return and to finish what I start. And so when I made the decision to return to Liberty, I had to do a lot of reflecting and extra paperwork to be allowed to continue due to being placed on academic warning or probation. And so one of the things I had to do was I had to retake the classes that I failed and withdrawn from. I had to submit the paperwork to the university identifying what happened when I failed and what should I have done, and what did I learn from that experience, and how to handle these situations in the future if they were to come up again. And my answers were satisfactory, and I was accepted under academic probation. And under the condition that I had to take a course called GRST 501, which is Graduate Studies, alongside one of my other classes. And the purpose of this class teaches you how to write your graduate papers, teaches you more about time management, conflict resolution, how to navigate handling, addressing issues with your instructor, things, little subjects like that, test taking techniques and things like that. And I felt that course taught me more. It taught me so much that I literally believe that could be teachable in a high school environment. It needs to be taught in K-12. And if you want me to do a more detailed video about my experience in that class, I would be more than happy to do that. If you want videos about these different skills, just let me know in the comments below, and I can get that happening as well. So, since returning, I started having health issues where I had to have surgeries. I had severe illnesses, even around a combination of flu and COVID at the same time. One thing that I learned is that that I applied to this go around that I should have done in 2016 was being upfront with my instructors and keeping them abreast of what was going on immediately. And that was something that I definitely learned, and I definitely took heed of that advice. And thankfully, they were very gracious in giving me extensions when I needed it. However, I was also starting to have bouts of anxiety and depression and PTSD beginning to flare up, and I made sure that my instructors understood that, and they were very gracious in working with me throughout my classes, and they've been completely awesome. And typically, each school has a ADA compliance form for students to complete in order for them to have accommodations. I did not do this, which I probably should for my PhD, considering there's going to be a lot of things going on. And that will definitely help you in a lot of things where you may need accommodations for longer test taking time frames. You need extended deadlines and stuff like that. So definitely check with your school to see what your ADA compliance office is like. And when I do this for my PhD, if you want me to explain that process, I'll be more than happy to do that. So when I returned, I was determined to finish my degree by Christmas, and I accomplished that. And not only did I accomplish that, but I got an A in every single course that I took from the time I started back to the time I ended, even in my capstone. And so I thank my husband for that, and also my daycare providers who helped me out, keeping my kids out of my hair long enough for me to, get what I had to get done. I went from a 2.25 GPA to a 3.59 GPA. Again, I am now in the PhD program for instructional design, and my eventual goal is to teach other students to do these things and encourage them using my story and being a testimony to these students that you can do it. And so I will also be vlogging my experiences with that. In closing, I hope that these lessons that I'm about to pass on to you help you in some way or form, whether it be encouraging or how to navigate online learning in the university setting. If you need any questions answered, I am more than willing to answer them in the comments below. And again, my name is Christina Bardine, and again, next episode will be a little bit of a contentious one. It's navigating team assignments. I've seen a lot of comments in Facebook groups about this and how much people hate them. So I hope my little nuggets of wisdom will help you kind of get through and navigate it. So I hope that it helps you, and I'll see you in the next one.